Hey everyone, how's it going? Aaron Rift here from NoDQ.com. Welcome to NoDQ's post-TLC 2017 review video. I am being joined by Virtue and Jexy tonight, just the three of us, to talk about the TLC pay-per-view. So I'm really curious to know what you guys thought about this show, just your overall thoughts first. Very interesting show tonight, no doubt about it. Virtue, let's start off with you. Your overall thoughts on today's show, which was definitely different than what we were expecting even 3 or 4 days ago. Your thoughts?
Overall, I'm not going to say right now because I don't want to spoil my grade, but I will say this. I'm a very, very happy guy because I am 3-0 when I put the No DQ t-shirt on the line, and I will continue to do that until I'm wrong, but I have not been wrong yet because we know who won the main event. So I like the show. In general, I did like the show. Jexy?
Yeah, in general, it wasn't too bad. It had some weak points, but I think overall it was pretty good.
All right, pretty good. I agree that it was definitely a very good show. Pretty good show. I'm not sure if I would say it was one of the best WWE pay-per-views of the year, but I was definitely not bored with the several key matches. But we'll go ahead and break down the matches one by one. Let's start off with the kickoff match, which was Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox. Now, I'm already forgetting what happened on Raw this past week, and I was there. I believe Sasha won on Raw, correct?
Yes, I believe she did.
Yeah, because Alicia attacked her backstage afterwards. So I thought maybe Alicia would get her win back, but no. Sasha won again. She tapped out. She tapped out Alicia with the bank statement. And I'm thinking that Sasha will be the next challenger for Alexa Bliss. Jexy, what did you think about this match?
I thought it was pretty well paced. Those two as opponents have fairly similar styles. So it was entertaining for me to watch. I like that Sasha won. I had picked Alicia Fox, but I'm cool with it. I'd like to see her versus Alexa Bliss again.
I got to say, Alicia does a pretty good Northern Light suplex. I think that was really impressive. She did it twice, I believe.
She's got that, she's lanky, and I think that really helps to make that move look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a, solid kickoff match. I know Greg Cherry, the PA sensation, absolutely loved that match because he likes Sasha Banks. She's kind of got a little bit of a tude going on lately, or is that just me? Now, of course, I was watching her interviews backstage on the pre-show, too. So I don't know. It was just kind of strange that I don't know if they're teasing her heel, but with Alicia being heel, it was a little bit off-putting for that match for me. But it was a solid kickoff match. You went over.
I agree on that. I definitely feel it was very solid. So we kicked off the main card with another women's match. We had Asuka making her main roster debut against Emma. And Virtue, I know you're a huge Asuka fan. I know you have a thing for her. She's one of your favorites.
It was everything that I thought that debut match would be, with the exception of I thought she was going to squash Emma.
Yeah.
The fact that this match went 7-8 minutes, however long it was, and Emma got a lot of offense and really showed, Asuka could have some vulnerabilities, but she's still undefeated per NXT, and she's very, 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 very good. So I did like the fact that they made Emma look strong. Asuka still got the win. 7-star match? No, not really. But for a debut match, I think it was a really good kickoff. Not a kickoff match, but hot opener for the regular part of the pay-per-view. And again, Jexy, what do you think? Should she have dominated and squashed this Emma in a couple of minutes, or do you like the fact that Emma looked strong in parts of this match?
My very honest opinion.
That's why I asked.
I don't think Emma looks strong at all. I think that I shake my head. My head.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
When I look at it, I think, what did she even do? She hit Asuka in the face, pulled her hair. She couldn't even get her positioned in the corner. And she flopped around like a fish half the time. She looks like she's confused, she doesn't know what she's doing in the ring. And I felt bad for Asuka because every time she would start to go strong and try to do something, Emma doesn't know what she's doing.
Is it fair to say, is Emma working the role of a chicken SHIT heel? That's the model I think she was playing, maybe, and I thought that worked for Asuka's debut match, but maybe I'm off on that. I don't know. You probably see it differently than I do.
I do, because I don't think that she's very talented. I don't think it was fair to Asuka. I don't think she had a chance to actually show what she can do.
Yeah, well, I've definitely seen mixed reviews on it. I've seen people saying that it should have been a squash, that Asuka should have just destroyed her, just completely dominated her. So I could see it both ways, and I guess they're trying to protect Emma a little bit in defeat, but I think the whole point of this match was to really establish Asuka as a major force to the casual viewers.
And what if, Aaron, it was going to be a squash, and what if the change of the pay-per-view with no Sister Abigail, with Kurt Angle in the main event, what if that maybe made them want this match to go longer? We don't know.
That's a very valid point, because maybe it was scheduled to go shorter, but because they needed to stretch out time, maybe they made it a little bit more competitive. So it's really hard to say. That very well could be the case. But for what it was, I thought it was okay. But in a way, I do agree with Jexy. I think that Asuka should have really dominated the match. And yeah, Emma should be getting a chance. But I think, that character she was doing a year and a half ago before she got hurt, that's when she had some momentum. Now she really doesn't. And I think you need to put the momentum on Asuka, who is debuting on the main roster. First impressions are really important. Yeah. And you have a lot of casual fans, well, maybe not a lot at this point, but you have some casual fans that do not watch NXT. There are those fans out there, and I think you need to make Asuka as strong as possible. So I think perhaps it could have been done a little bit better, but overall, I was fine with it. It was solid. I mean, I don't think there was any really bad match on the show, but maybe there was. Maybe you guys thought there was a bad match. We'll talk about it in a few minutes here. Let's move on to Elias. Elias came out to perform. He was on the stage, he was playing the guitar, and then we had Jason Jordan come out and throw vegetables at him. And that was this first segment. And then later on in the show, we had another segment, same thing. Jason Jordan comes out, throws vegetables at Elias, and then finally that led to a match. We'll get to the match a little bit later. Next up, we had a cruiserweight tag team match. We had Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick, versus Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann. I haven't been watching 205 Live because I've been doing my own live videos. I'm not sure if Gallagher previously debuted the new music, but I noticed the new music for the first time. Maybe you guys could clarify on that. We had Alexander and Swann picking up the win. Jexy, we'll start with you. Your thoughts on the match?
I thought it flowed well. There was some pretty good spots that they had, and when Gentleman Jack busted him with that headbutt, oh man, it was pretty vicious on that. But it was good. Overall, I like the way they flow together, so can't complain.
Yeah, it was a solid match for the cruiserweights. I really don't get into those style matches with guys that I'm not invested to, like emotionally with their characters. But this one I kind of did. And again, it might be Jack Gallagher. I kind of like that guy. I've always liked Brian Kendrick. What was strange to me, Aaron, is I swear going into the pay-per-view that Gallagher and Kendrick didn't have much heat. It seemed like Alexander and Swann kept getting the heat on the Raws and the 205 Lives. So I was kind of surprised. I actually picked Alexander and Swann to win because I was thinking, it should have been so obvious that they were going to lose, and I picked them. Well, that was strange to me. Like I did not feel Gallagher and Kendrick had any heat. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Yeah, but it was a solid match.
Yeah, I figured Alexander and Swann were winning, especially if Enzo was going to get back the title, because the last couple weeks it feels like they're building up Alexander to be the next challenger. So that's why I figured they would win the tag match and then Enzo would win the cruiserweight title. But yeah, I thought it was very solid. Nothing really to complain about. Next up, we had the women's title match: Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James. I thought it was a good match, but They seem to struggle to get the crowd into it. The crowd actually chanted, "We want tables" at one point. So, Virtue, what do you think went wrong here with the crowd not really getting into the match? I mean, I think technically they had a good match. What do you think?
Well, this was already the third female match of the show, and maybe they should have spread them out a little bit more. Nothing against the females, but I think for whatever reason, the matches, especially coming right after the cruiserweight match where they're flipping and flying around, Mickie seemed a little uncomfortable tonight. I don't know what it was. Even on the pre-show, and she was doing a promo backstage, she seemed a little bit off. And I don't know if she knew she was going to have the spot where she mentioned her kid, and she was nervous how she was going to present that. But it seemed a little bit off. Alexa with her little subtleties, the way she does the thing with the belt. She blinked her one. Like, there was one at the beginning of the match, a camera shot where you saw the ref and Mickie, and then Alexa kind of went right in front of them because she knew the camera. So Alexa was on the money tonight. I just feel Mickie was off a little bit. I don't know if she just had a bad night. Like, what do you think, Jax? I don't think it was a horrible match, but maybe being off a little bit is why that crowd wasn't into it. Did you notice anything on that?
I agree. Yeah, I noticed it too. And, you know, Alexa, for me, is easily my favorite female competitor in the Fed right now. I love everything that she does, from just, you know, the small, like you said, little technical things. But something was off. And you could tell, like, as soon as, for me, like I had said, as soon as they started chanting, "We want tables," and they knew that that wasn't going to happen, it's kind of like they just went home. You know, because they.
But it wasn't a bad match. It just had some awkwardness in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For whatever reason, it just didn't connect with the audience, and maybe it was also a bit of the storyline build-up. Maybe that just wasn't connecting with people either.
I do like Alexa keeping the title, though. You know, just because with Asuka on board now, have the title around a heel, and Alexa's has the momentum. So that, to me, it was a no-brainer.
And I think we mentioned a few weeks ago, or whenever we talked about the match, that Alexa should stay champion if you're going to build her up and have Asuka challenge her at some point. You want the champion to stay as strong as possible. You don't want to do the hot potato with the title right now, because eventually you can do Alexa versus Asuka and make that a big deal. But Alexa needs to be a strong champion. Strong champion, strong challenger. Maybe you could even do that for WrestleMania. So yeah, I figured it was the right finish, and James thanked the fans after the match. I actually thought this was pretty cool that she got to do the promo afterwards, even though she did mess up her lines a little bit. But
she was nervous. She was nervous about something. I don't know what, but that's uncharacteristic for her because she's a veteran.
Yeah, I did like the idea of doing that, though, giving her a chance to talk afterwards and thank the fans, saying she'll come back, and we'll see if it happens. I don't know if it's going to happen, but at least it was a nice thing to do for her at the end in defeat. So moving on here, we had a backstage segment with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. They gave Kurt Angle a Shield vest, and that would lead to...
I popped for that. I did not think he could actually wear that. That was my favorite part of the show.
We're jumping ahead a little bit here, but somebody posted a picture several days ago of Kurt Angle's face photoshopped over Roman Reigns with the Shield gear. So somebody called it, basically. But yeah, I mean, it was interesting. But we'll get to that more in a little bit. Talk about that. We did talk about Elias in that second segment. So let's move on here to the Cruiserweight title match, which was Kalisto defeating Enzo. Enzo had a sore throat, and of course all the jokes about the illnesses going on. He said he lost his voice. We had Enzo regaining the Cruiserweight title, or becoming the new Cruiserweight champion. I mean, after all, Kalisto did promise a new Cruiserweight champion on this show, and he was right about that. I honestly thought this was a boring match. I mean, I don't know if maybe it had to do with Enzo being sick, or maybe he's just not that good once the bell rings, but I thought it was kind of boring. Jexy, what did you think of the match?
I agree. For me, I think the best part was when Kalisto did Enzo's little walk dance, and then when Enzo held onto the ring skirt. It was just kind of meh, and you know, I just laughed to myself because like he talks about cup of haters, like I need a cup of coffee to stay awake. Like I'm feeling like my
you guys are so off base. This was not a horrible match. Was it a great match? No. Kalisto was in it. Okay, contrasting styles. Enzo has grabbed the ball, and he is sprinting down the sideline to the end zone with everything he's given. And look, I don't see... He might botch here and there. All wrestlers do. But if Enzo does it, people, the internet, they're going to point it out. The guy's money on the mic, even when he doesn't have a voice. He can work a match with Kalisto. It's not 5-star. It might not even be 4-star. The point of this match was to get the belt back on him so he can flaunt it, because let's face it, the Enzo character, it's the real life Enzo. And Vince McMahon knows that's what's drawing the eyeballs. People want to, because when he acts like this, when he you know, the heel moves, the cockiness, the cheating to win, whatever it takes, that's making people think that's real Enzo, and it just might be because of all the backstage heat. This is money. Sometimes wrestling has to be reality. It wasn't a great match, but I love the booking of it. It was predictable.
Well, I will say at least he's a full-fledged heel now. At the very end, he thanked himself, and he gave no thanks to the fans.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Well,
Loved it.
That, in my opinion, was the best thing about the segment, better than the match itself. But that's just my opinion. I just have mixed feelings on it. I'm glad Kalisto's not champion anymore because I was never really a fan of that to begin with.
You pulled something good out of it, Aaron. I like that.
Yep. I mean,
thank you.
I just think it could have been better, though, but whatever. I mean, it was fine. Next up, we had Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. So the crowd obviously was very excited about this match. They chanted, "This is awesome," before the bell even sounded. The crowd did the Too Sweet chants, and very back and forth match. Pretty much 50-50 going back and forth between the two of them. And Balor picked up the win, as I figured he would. I figured it made more sense for him to win, especially if he's going to be challenging Brock Lesnar at some point, whether it's December. No, not December. December's a SmackDown pay-per-view, I believe, right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't know at this point. Yeah, Night of Champions. It's SmackDown.
I would know.
I'll
rely on you for that.
I should know this, right? It's SmackDown, so it would be the Royal Rumble. But still, you want to have Balor looking strong here. After the match, they did the Too Sweet gesture together. Virtue, we'll start with you. Your thoughts on the match? Was it
everybody got their moment? Everybody got their moment. That was cool because who knows what this will lead to in the future. I thought it should have been like Finkelstein did. I agreed with him on this prediction. I thought it should have been a no contest. Even after we knew Sister Abigail was pulled because of Bray's illness, it just didn't make sense to bring AJ over and then have a clean-cut winner. But I guess if they want to push Finn to maybe the Universal title, okay, whatever. From a match standpoint, it wasn't anywhere close to match of the year. They weren't given enough time, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they had to have Elias versus Jordan. If they didn't do that buffer match, and they would have just maybe done a smaller, one more vegetable throwing segment, you could have tacked on 3 or 4, maybe 5 more minutes onto Balor and AJ, and I think then we're talking in the A range of matches. But it wasn't bad. I thought maybe it had a slow start, a little bit of not sloppiness. For those guys, there's no such thing as sloppy, but you know what I mean? Like, it just took them maybe 4 or 5 minutes to get in the groove. The crowd was hot, obviously, as they should be. But I don't know. I was a little let down, and it just seems like some of the AJ Styles matches lately, and it's not his fault. I just think he's getting the Kevin Owens matches. There's just been something. My expectations for AJ are so high. You think I'm crazy?
I don't think you're crazy. What do you think,
Okay,
Jexy?
it's like my expectations are so high, I feel let down sometimes. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from. Personally, I thought the match was tremendous, especially overall considering what else they were competing against. I love the chemistry between the two of them. I could literally watch them dance all night long. I thought it was great. I loved it from start to finish myself.
Well, what I think is that it was about as good as you could ask for on such short notice. They had 2 days to prepare for this,
and there was no true story behind it other than they were Bullet Club guys. Yes,
no storyline. AJ flew 18 hours from Argentina to be.
That's a good point. That I forgot about that. Yeah. That's a great point.
So there are things to take into consideration, but I think all things considered on short notice, I think they did a tremendous job and they really stepped up. And let's put it this way. It was way better than I think Bray Wyatt or Sister Abigail,
And Aaron, we talked about this off camera. The feeling I had after that match of like quality and goodness, remember those Punk and Jericho matches? They were very solid, very good matches, but they weren't, all-time greats. That's the feeling I got, which, again, it's not a bad thing. But my expectations with AJ are always so high.
Yeah.
No doubt, he's one of the best in the world. But yeah, I thought it was really good. Maybe not like a match of the year candidate, but I really enjoyed it. And if those guys, like you said, maybe if they were given another 10 minutes, maybe if they had a little bit more storyline build up, a little bit more time to work out the match, maybe it could have been like an all-time classic, and maybe they'll get another opportunity. You never know.
And don't hate us, people. Aaron and I, we still like the match. It was a very good match. Jexy put it over as an awesome match. So don't be hating on us, please.
And I hope so.
You know what I mean?
I would love to see them continue working against each other. True. I mean, for real.
Yeah, they could definitely do a rematch out of this at some point. Maybe they could It would be nice if they did something in the storyline, because you have AJ showing up there, and maybe they could explain that in the storyline, SmackDown gets to have a Raw guy come over. Maybe for the December pay-per-view, they could reverse it and have Finn Balor go over to SmackDown and face AJ Styles in a rematch. And then maybe they could do a third one at WrestleMania. How about that?
That would be awesome.
There's an idea right there. But anyways, let's move on here to Jason Jordan versus Elias. So Elias came out to sing again for the third time. Jordan came out. The thing I remember the most about this match, and I barely remember anything, and it was just an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, Booker T's commentary was so bad, to the point where Michael Cole and Corey Graves were just making fun of him the whole time for how bad he was. Oh, and by the way, I'm not sure if you guys understand what's going on, but why is Michael Cole supporting Elias and Corey Graves is supporting Jason Jordan when...
I know. I don't know. I think Corey Graves is playing the smart role announcer. I don't know.
It's really weird.
I've been...
Jexy, what did you think about the match and the commentary?
Like you said, I can't really commentate anymore on the commentary because I agree with what you said. But for an impromptu match, it was decent. I always like to see the shades of Kurt Angle come out and Jason Jordan. I think that's pretty cool.
Well, what happened at the end? What happened at the end with that small package?
That, I was like, what the hell just happened?
I'll tell you. Go ahead, but I'll tell you what I think.
That's going to play on later.
Yeah, it's to give Jason Jordan the win because he seems like he loses a lot, but yet it kind of protects Elias because he could come out and sing a song about how his shoulder... He'll probably sing a song on Raw how his shoulder wasn't down. I mean, that would be kind of cool. The commentary, look, Booker T to me, that's who he is. When he jumbles stuff and if people think it sucks, I just need to hear Booker T's cadence of his voice, and that's fine to me. I don't care. He's the third wheel on that. To me, I don't get Cole and Graves. Their roles are off. And I think they take away from some of the storylines, especially when Graves will diss on Enzo. I thought Graves was the heel commentator, but whatever. Again, I talked about this match, the filler match. I get why they had to do it. And they had to. I like the threaded segments of the guitar spots throughout. This should have been a TLC match. It should have been a tomato, lettuce, and celery match.
That's practically what it was.
They set it up. So why didn't they continue with the vegetable throw? That probably would have added that little extra entertainment value.
Somebody's going to make like a... You guys remember like Super Mario Brothers 2 with Mario throwing the vegetables? I bet somebody's going to do an image of that with Jordan throwing the vegetables at King Wart, a.k.a.
I
Elias.
like the build to that match, considering they probably had some time to kill. The way the match happened and then the weird finish, blah, whatever.
Yeah. Where did he get all those vegetables, by the way? Do they have those in catering?
Got to be a market close to the arena. Minneapolis, there's a Mall of America up there, a bunch of grocery stores.
Oh, so I guess Jason Jordan went over to the market before the show and just picked up some vegetables to throw it at Elias. Well, okay, whatever.
Or some Marine crew did it, but yeah.
All right, so now we have the main event, the TLC match, The Shield, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and honorary member Kurt Angle versus The Miz, The Bar, Braun Strowman, and Kane. A million things happened in this match. I'm looking at my notes here. I basically have like a mini essay written here about this match. So many things happened in it. A lot to talk about. So let's break it down part by part. Let's start off with the entrance. So we had the Shield coming out through the crowd. Kurt Angle was in the gear. Virtue, your thoughts on the entrance? Did you like it? Do you think Angle should have come out on his own, or do you like what they did?
Go to my Twitter, and I'll plug it at the end. You got to see, I took some still shots of the Kurt Angle and the Shield gimmick. You got to see the memes or main memes, whatever they're called. 100% Kurt Angle coming out like a SWAT team member. Awesome. I can't even, I'm going to pass it on because I'll just be rambling at this point. I popped huge for that. That was awesome.
All right, Jexy, what did you think?
I did too. It made me smile for sure. I thought it was pretty awesome. I loved it. Like it's funny seeing him that way. It was awesome.
Yeah, Kurt Angle's always hamming it up, so that was definitely an entertaining moment. The only thing, we'll get to it a little bit more as we go through this, but the only thing I wish they did was when Angle came back out, he had his old gear. He came out to his old music, but I would have liked to have seen him in the old gear. Maybe he wasn't prepared enough for the match and it was on short notice and he wasn't in the best shape, but he looked to be in pretty good shape. But there were some people commenting about him being blown up and that sort of thing. I think Booker T even mentioned it on commentary, calling out Angle for being blown up. And he did take a limited amount of bumps. He did go through the table. He was power slammed by Braun Strowman. They did protect him, but I'm not sure what he has left at this point. We really didn't get a great insight into that because he was protected and he only took that one major bump. But overall, I mean, this was a really entertaining match. I think that at times it was really weird. It was different from your typical WWE match, and it was very long. I mean, I'm not sure the exact length. I think it was close to 40 minutes. It was one of the longer WWE pay-per-view matches.
It was the Attitude Era, and that's what it was, and that's why I loved it.
Yeah, I'm wondering because I did see a lot of people criticizing this match, saying it was overbooked and too many things were happening. But it did remind me a lot of an Attitude Era WWE pay-per-view main event, which was a good thing. I mean, maybe this generation of fans, because they're so used to the pure wrestling with Ring of Honor and that sort of thing in New Japan, that they forgot what these Attitude Era style matches were like with all the big spots and all these different things happening.
Remember when sports entertainment matches used to be common and the wrestling matches were the treat? Now those matches are a dime a dozen, and the sports entertainment matches are a treat. I swear that's how I feel. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just didn't want to forget.
I mean, I pretty much gave my thoughts on it. I was very entertained by the match. I mean, we had lots of table spots, lots of ladder spots. We had Ambrose and Rollins jumping off the ladders, putting Kane and Strowman through the table. So a little twist we had in this storyline was, which I actually liked a lot because it made things a little interesting, where you're wondering what's going to happen next. We had Kane and Strowman fighting each other, and then it got to the point where Kane chokeslammed Strowman through the stage, and then Strowman popped back up, and then all four guys ended up working over Strowman and putting him in the garbage can. And I was seeing pictures
Before then, though, when he got chokeslammed through the table, I loved the chairs going ding, 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 ding. That was well planned out. Again, that's the type of stuff.
Even though Cena did do that to Wade Barrett, I think 2010.
Yeah, but again, I didn't remember that because it was Cena. But
yeah, it was 7 years ago, too.
I don't know, but yeah, again, it was another element into this epic, colossal, I loved it.
I mean, it was like a big demolition derby, so I mean, that's the kind of thing I was hoping we would see with Strowman and Brock Lesnar from September, this kind of demolition derby where everything gets broken and it's just carnage. That's what you expect out of a TLC match, and especially when you're doing one without climbing up the ladder, you got to do some different things and make it interesting. So, Jexy, I'll ask you, anything in this match that really stood out to you that we haven't mentioned yet?
Well, I mean, for me, honestly, I loved seeing Kurt Angle do the German suplexes.
Absolutely.
That move, when done cleanly, a la Benoit and Kurt Angle, is one of my absolute favorites. So to see him just bust those back to back to back, I was just right on.
And Jexy, correct me if I'm wrong, Kurt holds on to his like Benoit used to. Because doesn't Brock release? Mm-hmm. So yes. I like the holding on. That reminded me of the early 2000s, back in the Angle and the Chris Benoit days. I don't mind mentioning Benoit.
I don't either. He's one of my favorites of all time. I'll say that.
Yeah, you can't take away what he did in the ring. Yes, you can't.
Nope. And
but yeah, good call.
That I ever met him on a side tangent, he was the most respectful, nicest person that I can say that I've met, But yeah, that's actually how the move's supposed to be done. You're supposed to hold on to it and either bridge back or keep doing it. But it was beautiful. It was clean. Liked it a lot.
And the crowd was actually chanting, "We want Lesnar" at one point when Angle got helped to the back. But it was in Minneapolis. We should note that. So, of course, that crowd's going to want to see Brock Lesnar. But I figured as soon as Angle got taken out to the back that we were going to see him return at the end. It just, I've seen different viewpoints on this match. Some people thought it was too long, but, they did a lot of things in this match, and it was very entertaining. I was never personally bored with it. When they had the garbage truck out there, I saw some people on Twitter saying this match is garbage and that sort of thing. So I'm really curious. I mean, what would you say was the best match on the show? I think the main event was the best match on the show.
No doubt.
Jexy, what do you think? What was the best match on the show in your opinion?
It was the main event, followed very, very slightly with Styles and Balor.
All right, so it's a close one for you. I think this was outstanding main event, and in the end, it all made sense. The only thing
now, Aaron, you're. I remember you saying you wanted Angle when he came back out after he took the table spot and he went to the back, and then you remember when he came back out and they hit his music. You wanted him to be in the red, white, and blue singlet. Okay. Yeah. Think about this, though. I get that, so I respect that. That would have been cool. But he took the table bump. So if he went to the back, changes gear, and comes back out as Kurt Angle, he would be no-selling to me that table spot. I like the fact that he came out still dressed in the SWAT gear, kind of hunched over like he was still hurting. So I thought it was...
I wanted to see him come out as Superman, come out and do the Superman Hulk Hogan style cleaning house. And he kind of did that. He did do that.
Yeah, he did the angle slams onto the ramp. I thought that was cool. That was good.
He did the angle slams, and then he had the ankle lock on, and then you had Ambrose and Rollins. They speared, I think it was Kane through. Yeah, it was Kane because Strowman was put in the dumpster.
You know who gets the Academy Award, though, for this match? Come on, I'm going to give you both a shot at it.
Right.
Lexi.
I say Miz.
Aaron?
No, I agree on Miz.
You guys got it right. To me, even though Angle, you can't overshadow Angle because he came back. To me, The Miz is why this match was the best on the card. He was excellent, and as his heel roll all the way to the finish.
No, Miz always.
I don't know what it was. He was better than I ever remember him being for the longest time, though. It was just he was in the right spot every single time. I think he was the ring general for this match.
Absolutely. Yeah. I totally agree with you on that. Miz is always getting better. He's one of those guys that just every year he continues to improve and get better and better. I mean, it's really remarkable how much he has improved his craft. And, there's that saying, you're never good enough, you can always get better. And I think Miz takes that attitude that there's always room for improvement. And that's why he keeps improving.
And the skull-crushing finale, I love that 2.5 count. That was awesome. Because, he snuck up behind Angle and he hit it. To me, I was like, wow. I think that was the spot where I was like, wow, I like this match. So, if you did not like this match, tell me why. Tell us why in the comments. I want to know why. Don't just say you didn't like it.
Well, the people will say it's overbooked or it was too long.
No,
I mean,
elaborate. Don't just say that. Because it was great. Great.
Yeah, I thought they thought it out very well from, bell to bell. I really did.
Yeah, I just thought I thought it was weird in a sense that it was different from the type of main event matches we usually see. But that's a good thing. It's good when we get something different and it's not 100% predictable. And there were times I'm wondering, is the Shield going to lose this match? I was really thinking that maybe they were going to lose the match or something strange was going to happen. I really wasn't sure. So, I mean, that's a good thing. When somebody like me cannot predict it, that's definitely a positive. So,
and there were no other tables or ladders or chairs matches throughout this show like there had been on past TLCs. So, to me, they had to make this match like this. They had to put all the eggs in the one basket, and that's what they did.
Yeah. So I thought I think we all agreed that it delivered with the carnage, and we had them doing the triple power bomb at the end on Miz, angle pin Miz, and really fun main event. And overall, really solid show. The main event delivered, and AJ and Finn Balor was better than what Balor and Sister Abigail would have been. So let's do the letter grades for this. Jexy, your letter grade?
I'll give it a B.
A solid B. All right. Virtue.
Bliss is still the champ. Enzo's the cruiserweight champ, and I love the main event, and nothing else was horrible. This is great balls of fire territory for me. A-. So, again, I'm not going to put it up in the upper echelon of great all-time shows, but I'm cracking it into the A range. A- for those various reasons.
All right, well, I'm gonna be right in the middle, you guys. I'm gonna go with a B+. It's hard for me to give any show an A, and I'm gonna reserve that for a show that has a phenomenal undercard, not just the attractions, the top attractions. So this show is a B+. The two big matches delivered, and the undercard was solid. So I feel it's a solid B+, but not an A yet. I'm not ready to give a show an A yet. It's got to be something really spectacular for me to go into that A category, but. There you go. Virtue gives it an A-. Jexy gives it a B. Fun show overall. I think we all agree it was a thumbs-up show. So that'll wrap it up for our review video. Jexy, anything you would like to promote? Your Twitter, Instagram?
Sure. Instagram and Twitter at JexyRocks.
Right on. And Virtue?
Twitter at NoDQ_virtue. And like I said, you want to go there and check out those Shield and Kurt Angle memes. What do they call there? Memes or memes?
I have no idea.
Yeah. You people know what I'm talking about. That's all I got.
All right, so make sure you follow Jexy and Virtue, and you can follow me at Aaron Rift on all social media platforms, and stay tuned to the YouTube channel for more videos. You can follow my personal YouTube channel for cat videos. Jexy's been checking those out. She'll tell you that those are fun videos, and Virtue, you should be checking them out too.
I will. I forgot about them, actually.
You forgot? How dare you?
Yeah.
Anyways, check all that good stuff out, and thank you guys for being on. Thank you all out there for watching. We will see you all next time.